Having met each other only 3 weeks ago in round 10, Subiaco and Swan Districts faced each other again in the round 13 match of the day. The Lions won the previous encounter by 13 points to ignite their trio of consecutive wins, having them sitting just a matter of percentage outside the top 4. Swans, just a game behind the Lions and with the game in hand, travelled to Medibank Stadium for a crucial return match.
3 opportunities now for Swan Districts, really. 2 to Newman, 1 there.
Kicking from Forrest. Well done from Howard. Behind, opportunistic Ugle. Oh, Kirk Ugle! When some pretty easy goals have been missed, not so Kirk Ugle. So the two 15s lining up on each other there. Chris Phelan's got the height advantage, but Ugle very clever. Great perseverance by Madut. Won the footy and good vision too. Finds Joey Day. Now Day, a bit of a helicopter pass. What great distance. This could be the goal of the year as far as distance goes, from almost just forward of the centre of the ground into open space. Worthington will get there ahead of Ugle. He's got a couple bearing down on him. Ugle gets to the front of the contest. Great effort by Ugle. To Gapin, who's been busy. Oh, the check side kick, so beautifully delivered. So Sean Hildebrand at right half forward, murders the kick a little bit, grubbers it up toward Garlett. In goes Hildebrand again. Beautiful tap out there to Robinson, and Robinson gathers the footy, floats it through.
Murray Newman's been impressive, although he hasn't finished off getting his hands on the footy.
Riggio, a beautiful tap to Knott. Knott with the kick to the goal square. Worthington didn't finish off the punch, and he's back into the action. That quarter-time rub on the hamstring must have worked. Dale Garlett snaps a left-foot goal. Lob got this tap. Riggio got it and gave it to Robinson. He was dispossessed. Bristow gets this clearing kick, but it was touched. Didn't matter. Burnell's hand pass. He chipped it off to a player in Rhett Kerr, who runs and kicks on. Oh, no, it was touched. No, it was a goal. Found Davis from a step. Ryan Davis to a one-on-one. Gapin wins these 9 out of 10 times. There goes the kick over the top of Rumble. Ugle the target, fires a hand pass to Neil. He snaps at goal, and as he put it through, he has. High kick from Tony Knott up toward full forward. I thought there was a push. The umpire says no. Newman gathers the footy, shrugs the tackle. There's the quick reply. Boos from the Subiaco supporters. Hand pass that ended the path of Roach. Roach manufactured a kick to Toomey. Toomey could feel them bearing down on him, so he hand passed to Gapin, and Gapin's kicked another one. They are on fire, Swan Districts. Might skid to a halt, it does. So Murray Newman, hard up against the boundary line. Intelligent kick to the goal square. Oh, Gapin just having the day out, if you don't mind. A gentle nudge. Read the ball over the back, picked it up and just dribbles it through for the easiest of goals. Here's Robinson. He's been the specialist in the centre clearances this afternoon. Sends it to half forward. DeLuca has been moved back. Gapin soccers the ball out towards Garlett. Found himself in half an acre of room. Nonchalantly across the body. And Dale Garlett, just an absolute clinic at the moment. Rhett Kerr, he worked hard for that kick, and even then it was touched. Nikoski fires a hand pass out. DeLuca got one in the back, I thought, and the umpire agrees. Now, they've got the advantage, so Kerr straightens up. He's not a bad player to have it, Rhett Kerr. Sends it goalward, and Subiaco. Well, they've started off the final quarter in the best possible way. Yeah, that was a great little change of direction by Neil to get the hand pass off to Robinson. Here's Gapin. He won't blaze away. He'll share it with Newman. Newman will share it with Garlett, and Garlett kicks the easiest of goal. So he gets the white line, heads for the goal square. Lob flew, so too Worthington. Bristow's kick knocked down. Bristow might get another chance here. No. Reece Waters gave it to Nikoski, and Nikoski on the left boot has snapped another goal. So well. Swan District's Tim Gapin played an almost flawless games with 6 majors. Ryan Davis and Dale Garlett each kicked 3, and 2 apiece to Knott and Newman. Brett Robinson and Bwockhurst each kicked 1 apiece. For Subiaco, Martin Nikoski finished with 3 second-half goals. Kerr and Wood each kicked 2 for the Lions, whilst Waters, Worthington, Day and Herring contributed 1 apiece. Subiaco well served by George Hampson, who finished up with 34 possessions and 10 marks. Bristow tried hard with 25 and Marnie with 22. Kerr, a late inclusion in the lineup, had 20 possessions and kicked 2 goals. Young Simon Moore tried hard and battled on for 18 possessions. Chris Phelan with 22 was a good player. Parker tried hard, and Reece Waters had 19 possessions and kicked a goal. For Swan Districts, they had some big possession getters right across the board. 14 marks to Tim Gapin, 31 possessions and 6 goals won. Wade Toomey was irrepressible across half-back, 31 possessions. Sean Hildebrand had 30. Kyle Hams mopped up brilliantly across the half-back line all day. 6 marks and 29 possessions. 29 also to Matt Riggio. Tony Knott, 10 marks, 2 goals. He had 22 possessions. And Justin Simpson, 21, and Lockie Neal, 22. So over the course of the game, Swan Districts had a massive number of possessions, more than Subiaco. 251 to 214 kicks, 183 to 127 handballs. Inside 50, well, they only went in one more side after Subiaco fought the game out particularly well in the last quarter. The centre breaks, Swan Districts 19 to Subiaco 16. But it was really on the scoreboard where the damage was done by the Swans. They led by 15 points at quarter time, by 44 points at half time. If that wasn't enough, they stretched it out to 72 points at three-quarter time before the Lions fought back with 6 goals to 2 in the final quarter. But still, it was Swan Districts 20 goals 10, 130, defeating Subiaco 12-11, 83, the margin being 47 points.
What a win!
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we had a super win 2 weeks ago, and and these guys had a really good win on our home deck a couple of weeks ago. So we came in today with a focus to get the job done, and probably the result, absolutely wrapped with it. We probably didn't think we'd win by this much, though.
An outstanding game for you. You even outran a kid 8 years your junior today.
No, a couple of lucky ones today, which is good. Boy's been giving me a bit of stick about I've been a decoy for Dale over the last couple of weeks, and he's been going really well. But no, I mean, just nice to get a couple of kicks, which is good. Is
that the most distance you've covered in a game?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how far I run, to be honest, but I felt really good. I mean, we had a week off. I had a bit of a lighter week, and today's probably the best I've felt going into a game in terms of my body. And I had no niggles warming up, and as a 29-year-old, it actually feels great. So.
And how important was today's win?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we had some 4 or 5 really good inclusions today. I mean, 3 AFL listed boys and Talon Ames, who's probably the best fullback in the competition, and I mean, it was a massive win, and I mean, we sort of set ourselves over the next second half of the year to finish off really strong, and we've started well. So,
well, celebrate well.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
What a win!
Yeah, look, the last quarter was a bit pathetic, to be honest. I thought we were really, really poor. Our heads blew off, and we went away from what we were really good at in the first 3 quarters, so that was really disappointing. But the first 3 quarters were really, really good. And look, we've given ourselves a chance now to have a really good look at the top 4, which is great.
Yeah, it's almost taken you half the season to sort of get everything going and that sort of thing, and now you're a real threat, aren't you?
Yeah, I think we are. I think when you looked at our team on paper today, it's a pretty good side, you know, with Ames and Bendel and Lockie Neal and Newman coming into that lineup. On paper, this team is good enough to challenge any side. Unfortunately, when we get away from what we're good at, we can play some really average footy, and we've just been so inconsistent this season and in this game today. Just like our last quarter was just awful. So in many ways, it's probably a good thing that we can look at that last quarter and say, look, when we do things poorly, we can be a pretty average side. So, but good to win.
And what really impressed you today from the players?
Look, I think in the first 3 quarters, I think we played really compact footy. We defended really well. We used the footy really well. That was probably the biggest thing. We used the footy well, and we hit the scoreboard, which we haven't been able to do. We haven't kicked 20 for the year, so that was the most pleasing aspect, and we defended pretty well as well.
And you've got South Fremantle next week away at Fremantle. How do you see that panning out?
Yeah, really tough. Really, really, really tough. I think they'll get Saunders back, and they're a dangerous side. I watched them 2 weeks ago against East Fremantle, and they were superb. So there aren't any easy kills in this competition, and South Fremantle will be really dangerous. I've got no doubt.
Thanks very much for your time.
Thanks, Nikki. Thanks, mate.
The only other Saturday game to be played in round 13 was at Claremont Oval, where the Tigers held Peel at bay all afternoon, running out winners 15 goals 12, 102 to Peel Thunder's 7-7 49. And the 2 Sunday games to be played: Perth versus East Perth at Brown Stadium, East Fremantle versus West Perth at East Fremantle Oval, and South Fremantle have the bye. Looking at the ladder, remembering that there are still 2 round 13 games to be played. Claremont, well, it doesn't really matter. They are dominating the competition, still on top, ahead of West Perth. Perth and East Fremantle inside the 4 on percentage only from Swan Districts and Subiaco. East Perth have at least temporarily been relegated back to 7th. Peel Thunder are just off the bottom ahead of South Fremantle, who have just the 2 wins. Next week we travel to Bendigo Bank Stadium, the home of Peel Thunder. The Thunder will be hosting the Perth Demons, our round 14 match of the day, and we'll be live on air from 2 p.m.